Okay, hello and welcome to my Ninja Shadow of Darkness video. So this is an old game from PlayStation 1 that I used to love. It's by the people that made Tomb Raider. I actually got it thinking it was going to be Tomb Raider, but with ninjas, as you'll see. Not really the case. I still loved it. I still do love it. Didn't find much of an audience at the time though. In fact, I don't think I've met a single other person in the flesh who has played Ninja, unless I made them. So you can see, kind of an isometric angle. Not ideal for some of what it asks you to do, which I think is one of the big put-offs that people have with this game. So there's a squirrel there, just murder it for points. Sometimes they drop items. Up there you can see there's like a wasp's nest. Kind of want to avoid those. There's literally no benefit whatsoever to getting attacked by wasps in the game or in real life. So yeah, here we got a bunch of random villagers. I'm going to murder them because why not? There's a kind of slight awkwardness to the combat. Sometimes hits just don't seem to connect, like your character's fists will go straight through enemies but not really count. It's like it needs to almost lock on to an enemy rather than be based on where your fist is actually going on the screen. So you've got to kind of get used to lining up with enemies, whether they're sort of facing you diagonally or straight ahead. I should probably go into the storyline of the game, not that it's much of one. Oops, missed that squirrel there. Basic stuff. Two warlords in Japan fighting, one of them gets impatient, decides to make a deal with the demon lord. The interest of the game doesn't really go into it, but in the manual it says that the warlord Katasaki lost control of the demons and they devastated Japan. You won't find this story in textbooks for some reason. So I'm going to guess that in some way these guys are supporters of Katasaki. I'm not really sure what identifying features his supporters have. In this game, anything that's moving is basically an enemy. I was going to make a joke about using that bird over there, but in some of the later, or one of the later levels, eagles come after you. So, yeah. You probably see there's a little line there. That's a trap. So there's a few different types of traps. That particular one drops spears out of the air. I'm not really sure where they come from, but yeah. Guys sneaking here. So there's different types of enemies you kind of have to learn. Like some of them have little tricks, like that guy. When he gets up from being knocked over, he'll hit you with his axe, so you basically never want to be close to them. So healing items, you saw I just picked up a healing item there. That's pretty much on full health. When healing items drop from chests, they just despawn after a little bit, so there's not really any benefit to leaving them for later. Weapons don't seem to follow the same rule, so if we get far enough, you might see that I'll use, I'll have a weapon, I'll leave one as a drop, and then when I inevitably make a stupid mistake, I'll go back and grab another one. In terms of like enemy AI, they tend to be quite polite and wait for their turn, although occasionally identifying which one you're supposed to be fighting at a particular time. Well, it's not an exact science, shall we say. You might have noticed one of the enemies back there I punched off a cliff. Technically that's not ideal because you miss out on whatever item they would have dropped. You kind of want to be collecting as many coins and points as possible, because they get you stuff either from the end level shop, or certain points boundaries will give you extra lives. Oh yeah, and in terms of like knocking enemies off cliffs, they only fall off cliffs if you've already killed them, so it's not a strategy you need to be going for. Now there you might have seen little shine. If you fire a dagger at it, you get little secret items. So that's another kind of important thing to look out for. If you get 100% of the secrets in a particular level, you get double the points for that level. And since points mean lives, that was a 10 out of 10 jump by me there. You just want to get as many points as possible. These little fans are continue points, you might have already guessed. Levels range from like 20 minutes to half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. You can only save at the end of the level. And some levels have kind of weird save points after them. So you really want to be going into a level with your A game. I played this level earlier, died in the most stupid way possible right near the end. First level is not such an issue really. It's nice to get ahead on power early in the game really, because the game is a lot easier the more powerful your character is. We'll go into that in a bit, but basically combat just, especially in the later levels, combat takes so long. You really just want to be killing enemies as fast as possible. Sadly, enemies cannot set off traps themselves. I got too close there. Throwing daggers at enemies is usually not very good. They tend to guard, and the daggers will kind of fly back and hit you instead. You're not going to be able to get that. At least not without taking damage, which don't really want to do at this point. Some of the trap there, that's this type. So yeah, you'll notice I'll always take that kind of trap from off to the side. Okay, so this is the power up. If you notice bottom right, that will light up now. So you've got 4 levels of power. Each time you die, you lose the level of that power. Oh, too close. There we go. You want to get as much power as possible, and a weapon on top of that, and it just makes such a difference to how difficult the game is. A lot of the things that kill you are ridiculous jumps, especially given the camera angles at times. So you really just want to not be dying from combat. And because healing items are just largely random, this one I think is always a healing item. Yeah. But yeah, like enemies can drop healing items, but 9 times out of 10 you're just going to go for like ages without seeing any healing. And that's not great, so there's a little crap. I don't think I even need to kill him, but again, points mean prizes, so you might as well. Now you notice I'll start walking here and there. A bit like the original Tomb Raider games, if you hold down walk, you can't go over cliff edges, which is really useful for some of the precision jumps later in the game. I mean, even here, like if you miss this jump, you just immediately die. Your guy cannot swim. Catch those fish. And one of the most useful secrets of the first level, an extra life. So I actually drew maps of like most of this game, pretty much all of it. And I've been marking down like secrets, but I do not know what all of the secrets are in each game, so unfortunately you'll see sometimes where I don't get that delicious double bonus, but when you do get it, it's really, really nice. Little detour here to grab a key. There's a few little things like those jumping fish that just appear in like one level and then never again. So, secret here. I think there's also a wasp hive. So you just kind of, I think you can dodge it by running around. You'll see I just jump because why not, right? This thing gives you invincibility. Don't really need it for this, but these ninjas aren't really particularly difficult enemies. As you can see, like, they're really polite. This guy just ran off rather than helping his buddies. He's still running off. So occasionally, yeah, like little touches like here, for example, there's dynamic weather, it suddenly becomes a storm, the music changes. I don't think that happens in the rest of the game. So it kind of gives levels a bit of flavour. You usually notice me touch and run away. Yep, see, that one exploded. So you really just want to avoid that where possible. There's no reason 9 times out of 10 to be taking damage from a chest. Okay, yeah, you really don't want to be hit by lightning. You should be taking this a bit more carefully. See a little sneaky ninja there. Oops, running too close to the lightning again. Oops. It's that sneaky shadow there. That's another ninja coming. Did not know where he, like, I don't know, maybe there was some kind of Assassin's Creed style rope or something he was standing on up there. Oh. So I really just want to be getting as many coins as possible in this first level. And there's our first weapon. Generally speaking, once I get a weapon, that's basically all I'll use. Not that I really use kicks very often. I don't really know what their benefit is. They're a bit slower, so I tend to favour. Punching in most cases. Using a weapon is the same button as punch. Try and move the fight away from that fire, I think. Remembering to keep away from those big guys on the ground, so I'll just do that little axe attack, which is not ideal. Healing item, very generous. So I got 1,000. That'll net me the ultimate sword from the first shot. Alright, so it's about here, it goes back to regular weather. Yeah, I just think it's fine, kind of a nice touch for a game from this era. If you go back to the earlier areas, you'll see that it's gone back to being bright there as well. Little sneaky trap here. Only 2 spears that time, there's normally 3. Don't think there's any secrets around there. I think I'm missing at least one from this level though. So. Getting close to the end of the first level here. There's the secret here. So you can actually see some of the level we've already been to down there. Kind of like Dark Souls, in that the levels often loop around and you can see other bits. But a bit less visually pleasing than Dark Souls, shall we say. Huh, another healing item. Something you really just don't want to be doing is fighting too close to cliff edges. It is like instant death, and he's quite twitchy about what counts as instant death. Sometimes, like, you'll still have feet on the platform, but he'll die anyway, because why not, right? As I was saying earlier, like, I would use the ninja sword here. I'd also use one level of power up. Not super necessary at this stage of the game, but good to get it as high as possible early on, because it just makes the fight so much quicker. The last level has these demons that take like 3 or 4 combos of punches to kill, and when you've got like 4 of them crowding around you, not ideal. But get a sword and full power up and they'll be going down really fast. Let's not run into that fire. Okay, so it's about this part of the game when I played this level last where I just died in the stupidest possible way. Oh yeah, ninjas can throw daggers as well. Oops, a bit close to the gap for my liking, buddy. Oh yeah, if you hold down the button you can power up a weapon, but I'm pretty sure that costs health, so I never use it ever. Yeah, so I just ran straight into one of these trees. It's like, I don't think I've ever done that since the first time I played. But yeah, it just straight up killed me. I think it took off like half my health bar and I was already lacking. I've been a lot luckier with health drops on this playthrough. Alright, so this is the first boss. If you're playing it on the PS3, this is actually about as far as you can play without using level skips. Or maybe you can just press start and skip the cutscene altogether, I don't know. But the cutscene audio and the music in the game is played off the CD, and the PS3 doesn't really do that. For some reason it goes really cross about it on that cutscene. And just stops. Okay, yeah, so so you want to get these secrets during the boss fight. Because the end level tally is calculated immediately after you kill the boss. So if you miss it, you don't get the double points bonus. Now I normally don't melee bosses in this game, because they do that. Certain bosses, they don't know how to turn. Final boss is worse than this for turning. This guy does have a little tail whip he likes to bust out now and then. Yeah, most bosses will kind of punt you onto the ground if you get too close. Which is why I normally kind of stand at range and hit them with my daggers. So we go. 96%. Yeah, I don't know where I'm missing the last one there. 1495. That's probably not going to get me everything that I want from the first level shop, but let's take a look and see. So it's the ultimate sword, which I don't know if it's the best weapon in the game, but I tend to assume it is. Power up. I don't need healing items because, yeah. I'm gonna go with power up this time. Save a couple of coins because I can't buy both. This is the only place that you can save. In one of the later areas, you complete quite a long level, and then you can save. Then you have to fight a boss stage, then you have to do a really long level, and then you have to fight another boss, and then you can save. It's probably the worst stretch of the game, that's where I normally stop playing when I was a lot younger. I can get through it now, but yeah, not the best part. And then once you're done in the shop, you can exit and go to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Ninja Shadow of Darkness, level 1.